BRC-11, local first.
Leaving your car running during cold winter days could come at a cost. I'm Taylor Tasha, and I'll tell you why.
Plus, how leaving your pets outside in the cold could land you in legal trouble. But we begin tonight with news out of the state capitol. Governor Wolf has officially signed Pennsylvania's Children's Health Insurance Program. Good evening. I'm John Buffone. Governor Tom Wolf signed legislation today to protect children's health care through state funding of CHIP. Although the bill has been signed, federal funding makes up 90% of the $450 million CHIP budget. Congress failed to reauthorize CHIP before the September 30th deadline and hasn't addressed funding for more than the 9 million children nationally who benefit from it. Governor Wolf has urged Congress to take action as soon as possible. As of last night, it is official that every municipality in the 36th Senatorial District has opted out of the gaming expansion bill that proposes to add mini casinos to smaller areas within the state. Kenoi Township was the last one to make their final decision. All of the municipalities can opt back in at any time. A Manheim man is facing several felonies after court documents say he slit a dog's throat. Manheim Borough Police were called to a home on Grant Street when the victim told authorities that her boyfriend cut her dog with a knife. Matthew Kaleka was taken into custody and transported to Lancaster General for a mental health evaluation. While at the hospital, Kaleka told police he needed the officer's gun so he could kill himself and lunged towards it. He was restrained by several hospital security guards. Kaleka is charged with aggravated animal cruelty and torture and disarming a law enforcement officer. The dog did survive but needed several stitches. A Denver man is behind bars after he was caught stealing. When police arrived to a home on Mountain View Circle, they found 36-year-old Harry Register taking items from a shed. He'd also damaged several of the items inside. Register was taken into custody without incident and is being held at the Lancaster County Prison after failing to post $50,000 bail. Register is charged with burglary and criminal mischief. A stretch of road is closed between Pine Street and Terrace Avenue in Ephrata Borough for a reported water leak. Since this is in the vicinity of the sinkhole that developed a year ago, borough staff is taking extreme caution. With no water customers connected to that section of the water line and snow impeding the process, borough staff has chosen to valve off the leaking section and address it next week after a plan is developed. There are no signs of any street depressions, but based upon the history of the street, borough staff wants to develop a systematic plan to approach the repair. With temperatures quickly dropping this past week, more people may be inclined to warm up their cars unattended. But not only is that illegal in Pennsylvania, it can also attract thieves. News 11's Taylor Tasha has more on what's being referred to as puffing.
A lot of people will leave their car idling in the mornings to start up. Sometimes they go to shops and maybe get a coffee or something like that.
A term called puffing, first coined in the cold weather states to warm up your car before getting in, is also a prime opportunity for thieves to take advantage of your running car. When the temperature starts to drop, auto thefts are on the rise.
Most people can just hop in, get in the car, put it in gear, and drive off.
Heating up your car in the morning or letting it run while grabbing lunch can become an open invitation to car thieves.
It's so susceptible to being stolen, people getting into your car, rummaging through it, and such as that.
While the icy cold temperatures makes getting into a cold car unbearable,
every morning I start my car, heat it up.
I've been guilty of doing that on occasion when I'm really cold.
it's also against the law on public roadways and even comes with a cost.
It must be substantial. I'll say $1,000.
$50.
Probably like $200 because everything else is high, so I'm sure that would be too.
Only a small amount of $5, but the cost of stolen items could be much higher.
I know it's comfortable and warm in the car, but also look at the cost savings on your fuel as well. Think about it and minimize it, and also to keep your car and all the items and occupants in it safe and secure.
While Pennsylvania still has months of cold weather ahead, officials say you can puff your car a safer way.
Keep an eye on it. Stay in the car. Keep an eye on it.
Or even having an extra set of keys on hand keeps unwanted thieves out.
I use the extra set of keys, and then that's how I get in, and it's locked.
Reporting in Ephrata, Taylor Tasha, News 11.
Sticking with the weather outside, animal advocates groups have been urging pet owners to bring their four-legged friends out of freezing temperatures for years. But now it's not just a suggestion, it's the law. That's the sound of a warm dog in the wintertime. But for pets left out too long in sub-freezing temperatures, it can be a much different story.
Cracked and bleeding paws to frostbite, hypothermia, and in some cases death.
Most pet owners know that when the temperatures get below freezing outside, it's time to bring their furry friends inside. For the ones that do forget, however, they're no longer just being negligent. They're actually breaking the law.
At this point, there was a new tethering law implemented that stated if an animal is tied out even more than 30 minutes in weather below 32 degrees or above 98 degrees, they can get some stiff repercussions for it now.
PA Director of the Humane Society, Kristen Tulo, says these new laws are meant to be preventative, not punitive.
What is so great is that for the first time having a statewide tethering stipulations is that it's really an opportunity to educate the people who have animals.
Humane Officer Jen Neild says that if your pet needs to go outside for any reason, there are precautions owners can take. But even then, they must be careful.
Salt is a big thing that a lot of people use around your homes or your businesses to dissolve the ice. Pet-safe salt is a very good idea. Regular salt that you would put down that's not pet-safe can actually hurt their paw pads when they're walking on it.
Though some pets do enjoy the winter weather, Niels urges owners not to buy into the myth that some animals are impervious to weather conditions.
There are some breeds that do have the double coat. They're meant for the colder weather. They really enjoy the colder weather, but that doesn't mean that they should be left outside to suffer in it.
Now the good news is we should actually be seeing a warm-up in the next week, maybe even some days in the 50s. Let's go to meteorologist Dave Allen, who has our first look at the forecast.
First Look Weather is brought to you by Weaver's Banquet Facility in Adamstown, customizing your personal and professional banquets for over 20 years.
That's right, John. We definitely have a warm-up to talk about, but before that, we do have to deal with some slick spots on area roads overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. Now, like I said, we do have a warm-up, and it's looking like it's going to happen just in time for Christmas week. I'll have the details coming up in just a few. John.
All right, thank you, Dave. Well, those eager to celebrate the holidays warmed up with some cookies and hot apple cider around the bonfire tonight. It all took place at the Pennsylvania Dutch Christmas celebration held by the Landis Valley Museum in Lancaster. Our videographer Kevin Hallman takes us there.
This has been an event, a tradition for almost 60 years. And it's our way of saying thank you for another successful year.
It's just a night where people can come and be together and warm up by the fire and just experience a little bit of the museum together.
I tell you what, if it doesn't put you in the spirit, nothing will.
Well, I just think it's an awesome tradition. I love the beautiful culture that is in this valley.
Well, my favorite part is watching the bonfire and the hundreds of people standing, singing Christmas carols.
The kids always enjoy going for the horse ride, and it's just a little bit more special when there's snow on the ground and everything.
And just hearing the bells on the horses as they go with their wagon rides, it's magical.
Just puts everybody in a good mood. Forget about the rat race for a little while and just come out and have a good time.
This is what America used to be like.
Landis Valley Museum wants to thank people for their support, and what better time to do that than Christmas.
The Landis Valley Museum also collected non-perishable food items tonight, all to be donated to the Lancaster Food Bank. We'll stay tuned to the Evening Report. More local news is coming up after the break. Number 10 in our top 11 countdown of the biggest stories of the year takes us to a major revitalization project in Denver. And later in sports, Chad Landers has a couple of wild basketball games to show you, including our game of the night, Garden Spot at Cocalico. We continue our top 11 stories of the year with the biggest project downtown Denver has seen in years. The Denver House on Main Street is soon going to be a place every family can go to for some much-needed help. As News 11's Samantha Crawford shows us, their wonderful journey has just begun.
It was the hallmark of the community back in 1863. The Denver House and its entire remodeling process is our second top 11 news story of the year.
It was a turnkey operation, hotel bar, which we had no use for. So we had to go to work right away and start cleaning up.
Denver Mayor Rod Redkay took ownership of the long-standing Denver House back in October of 2016 and immediately went to work. With over 200 volunteers, they filled 26 containers of debris, and that was only the beginning. Since then, walls have come down, a bar has been removed, and flooring has been gutted. Between last February and now, so much has been done. But some architectural surprises has made the checklist a little longer.
The floors were wavy and had creaks and peaks and valleys, and we even saw that the doors actually were cut in angles just so the doors could close.
After year-long research into what the Denver community needs in order to flourish, Redkay said the team determined the building would have 10 affordable long-term living apartments, medical and social work offices, and retail space.
Welsh Mountain comes as a federally qualified health center that they take Medicare and Medicaid. Also, they have a program that is a floating scale depending on your income level.
90% of the original architecture will have to be replaced, but these double doors are going to be refurbished and they will be here for many years to come.
When they built the building, they had the glass-etched Union Station. Businesses that are in the construction trade, if there's an opportunity where they are willing to give in-kind donations, material, labor, please give us a call.
And with such help, Redkay hopes to have this dream become a reality in 2019. A dream he says will make the Denver House a hallmark in the community once again.
We've seen it so far with how many volunteers came out to clean up. We know that this place can be a warm place for our community.
In Denver, Samantha Crawford, News 11.
Now, if you would like to make a monetary donation or supply labor and material, contact Mayor Redkay at Real Life Community Services at their website below.